You. Fire exits are to your rear. Exits. The exits to my rear take you into the building. So the two fire exits are to your rear. This time here, I'd like to have the secretary do a roll call, please.
Ross Pelletier,
Here.
Bob Crow,
Here.
Russ Lockley,
Here.
Ed Ionati,
Yeah.
Ron Pelletier.
Here.
Okay, let the record reflect that there is 5 members here tonight, and so we can have a full meeting. Is there anything special that we should?
Not at all. We are ready to jump right into the agenda, starting with old business.
Well, sure. Set.
We are, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for asking.
All right, we're gonna start off the meeting with, review of the, October 7th meeting,
August 7th.
August 7th.
Minutes.
Minutes, yeah, correct. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from August 7th? On the board, okay. Any corrections, anything else you'd like to add to it? All right, do I have an approval for those meetings? please?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I have a motion for it, and then, I
Second.
have a second. Ed Ionati, second it. Ross Lockley has made the motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays, ayes have it. Okay, right from, this here now, I'm gonna have the, oh, okay, we gotta approve the minutes of September 4th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
we have a
Second.
Motion to approve. Anybody want to do any corrections on it or anything? All right, motion made by Ross, second by Ed Ionati. All those approved, say aye.
Aye.
Nays, ayes have it. Okay, so approval of both meetings. September 4th and the, October 2nd. Okay, can I have a reading of tonight's? Okay, old business is. Okay, old business is David Haynes. Location assesses plot map 323, lot 30, 0 Maple Valley Road, zoned RR3. Applicant is seeking a dimensional variance to construct a single-family home with 25 feet front setback, 50 feet is required. Okay, so we continue this, and is the applicant's here, great. I don't believe we have to swear him in because he's already been sworn in the last time, I'm correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. I know I know that's the board's policy, but he's an attorney at law. And, he would swear as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, again, Joseph Brennan on behalf of the applicant, David Hayes. As Chairman had stated, this application was really in effect continued from the August meeting. Since then, at the August meeting, just as a quick refresher, the applicant's looking to build a single-family home on an extremely large lot in the RR3 zone. Because of the 200-foot wetland buffer from the river, we found what we believed was the best location for the single-family home, trying to balance the consideration of the buffer with the consideration of the town's front yard dimensional setback requirements. So required is 50 feet from a front yard. We are proposing 25 feet. We are adhering to the 50-foot side yard setback that is required. That way, we're doing the best we can to not encroach on the neighbors the best that we can. At that meeting, the board had asked us to stake it out. So we had done that. We also, after the continuation of the previous meeting, we went out and also staked out the driveway because we believe that would be prudent for the board to be able to see as well. We did, after the meeting from last month, even though we didn't get on record with anything, meet with a neighbor outside. He had two concerns. One was the staking itself. So I don't know if the board may have this question, but the surveyor stakes the offsets. So it's a little bit further than what the actual true corners of the house would be, but that's just a building thing. It will be built within that. I think it's 10-foot offsets that they just naturally do when they stake those. And then you might notice the driveway was staked opposite as well. We gave you plans today because that's something we had talked to the neighbor who was closest to us. And he was most concerned about, or one of his concerns, I'll say, was about the driveway and the garage. He wanted it on the other side, not closest to his house. So we have completely flipped the house. So you'll see that plan. I gave Doug the big copies today, but I had sent the electronic ones before showing the driveway and the garage on the other side, trying to work with the neighbor. And we show the hammerhead turnaround to try and do our best to show the board that we're trying and that the cars will not have to back out onto the road. They'll be able to pull out forwards. Additionally, I think one of the board members had asked us to add a couple of arrows with that river buffer because the question was, well, the river is in a circular pattern. Why is the 200-foot buffer in like a 90-degree angle? So I do know on the plans, although I wish more arrows were put, Ocean State Planners did add 2 or 3 arrows, and you can kind of see that 90-degree angle is kind of created by the convergence of them as they kind of come together in that one spot. And so it's not as circular. But I'm glad that we were able to be able to show that. With that being said, I know that we did put all the standards up from last time on the record. I do think that we meet them fantastically. I do think that even further than that a denial would even meet the use variance standard of it would be a denial of all beneficial use because there's really nothing else you can do with the property other than a single family home because farming would be commercial. It would, this is the best and least intense use for this lot of land. So with that said, I can answer any questions that the board has in addition.
In discussing this is an extremely difficult.
Mr. Chair, could you please speak into the microphone? There's been a lot of feedback that people can't hear you. Thank you.
Discussing this with the board, this is an extremely difficult application because like the attorney just. Hello. Okay, this is an extremely difficult application because you do have 7 acres, I believe, at least. And it's what, 3 acre zoning out there, correct? So he more than meets the size, the application, I think, for the thing. And then now the problem is fitting in the building envelope. And the biggest thing that comes right up to me is technically, if you don't let this go through, you're denying him all official use of the land, just like the attorneys just said. It's a real difficult situation. I'm not crazy over it. I would like to see DEM give in a little bit. We haven't, and his problem is DEM won't let him go to them until he comes to us. So I really don't like the application being only 25 feet away. But do I have a reason to reject? I do not. Only being 25 feet away does not give me a reason to reject it. I'd like to, but I don't believe I have, am I correct, Solicitor?
You are, and that's a fair reading.
Um, Then I'm gonna refer it to our town planner. Do you see any reason to not approve this?
I don't see any reason.
That's where, I don't know how the rest of the board,
I got a question. I just went out there, I went over the weekend and I went back, actually before the meeting. And I measured from the stake to the road and it was 35.
That's because the lot line doesn't actually go, the
To-
road isn't paved all the way to
Okay.
the lot line. Yeah, so there's town property that, so you're right, there is an additional consideration there, but we can't
can't claim
calculate that into the request, but practically, yes, there is that additional land. But if the town ever decided to open up the road bigger,
They would.
yeah,
Yeah. So even though it's 25, it's really 35 until the town opens the road up.
that's a good point to bring up. So actually, we're looking like a 35 feet distance, which I think is more than reasonable, 35. But again, we can't use that extra 10 feet
Right.
because that belongs to the town. Am I correct?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, for purposes of what we have to ask relief for, yes.
Anything else anybody would like to bring up?
Mr. Chairman, I think that the fact that, unbeknownst to us, but they turned the house around and, that was, you took into consideration the wishes of the neighbor. The fact that you put the hammerhead in, you okay? Okay, cool. They put the hammerhead in for the turnaround, so it addressed a lot of our concerns in regards to safety for backing out. I agree with the chairman. I mean, we're not happy with the fact that it's close, but on the other side of the coin, we've done the best with what we have that's there.
Thank you.
Ed, how do you feel?
Totally agree with us. No question, no problem. I have no questions.
But I just got a question. If this passes,
Mhm.
you have to go to DEM, obviously, right?
That's correct.
So what happens if DEM sort of rejects this? You have to come back to us?
No,
So-
it would be well, so they probably would appeal the DEM decision and try their best to go that route. But if things were ultimately denied and DEM said something like, I'm making things up, right? If you moved it 10 feet closer, then we'd consider that. Then the applicant would decide whether he wants to come here and ask for an extra 10 feet or not. But that's where I'm making up hypotheticals.
So
So
it's just up in the air, right?
yeah, I have no idea. And to the chairman too, although I doubt DM will give us this kind of consideration, I'll certainly request and recommend that the applicant initially approach DEM and ask to go 10 feet back and start there and see if we can come to a consideration from there. But just with the little experience I have with them, I doubt that will get us anywhere. But we can certainly still request that. It doesn't hurt.
We're gonna make that a stipulation.
That's fair.
Does the board feel-
And that gives us a little more teeth to show to DEM too, right? That, that you asked for it. Yeah, I like it.
And that stipulation would read, asking the applicant to explore the concept of moving the building farther back with DEM.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm sure the applicant would rather have the house.
certainly.
back.
But it's gonna cost him time and money to do this. Appreciate him willing to do it. Yeah. He's gonna spend time and money doing this. Okay, anybody else have any issues on this application? Okay. If it's okay with the board, I'd like to have a motion that we vote on this tonight.
So moved?
Second.
And through the chair, but
Second it.
I just want to ensure before we begin any votes, the public hearing on the matter is still open. Since there has been changes in the application since the last time it's been in front of us, namely that they switched the orientation of the house, I do recommend taking comment to ensure that all of public comment on the latest application has been taken.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I'm good with that.
No, I'd just like to add to the motion what Doug was just saying, that, that we have to go to DEM and ask for that 10 feet. Make sure it's part of the motion.
Okay, yes, I'd like, yeah, correct, that was, corrected on it. I'd like to have public comment on this application. So is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on this application? As we, present it? Sir, please come up. Gotta come up to the podium. Please give your full name and address.
Lester William Oliver. I'm
Okay.
just asking what the court,
You swear to tell the truth from this point?
definitely. I'm
Could you
just
please-
asking what are we, looking at here?
She needs your address.
185 Maple Valley Road?
Okay, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, I'm just asking what's going on. I've been sitting in the back and I'm asking what's going
Okay,
on.
what it is, as the house has been turned around, instead of the driveway being on your side,
Yes,
driveway's on the other side in the garage.
Yes.
Too.
okay,
But we were not able to, we wanted to move it back 10 feet. That's what we're requesting DEM to take a look at this and see if they would move it back 10 feet. But if they can't move it back 10, DEM does not allow them to move it back 10 feet, and then they would be allowed to build as presented.
okay.
Am I correct? Yep, okay.
All right, well, I spoke with the, Mr. Hayes on last month. And we talked and I think, his attorney spoke today and whatever we talked about, it was okay with me.
I
So.
don't know what you talked about.
Yeah, whatever they talked about, whatever his attorney presented with you today,
Oh, well, we
Will-
presented tonight.
what he presented tonight is acceptable and the driveway situation was a little skeptical, but
But it's as far as it can be away from.
yeah, I got a 20-foot truck. I pull out of my driveway and I'm like, but it's okay. I'll live with it.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak on this application? Okay, is there anybody online that would like to speak on this application? All right, nobody online? All right, okay, this time here, I'd like to have a vote on this tonight, the members would desire to. I think we've already had a motion made to vote on this tonight.
All we have to do is vote.
Okay, what we're gonna do is vote on it. Who made the motion?
I
Us?
did.
Eddie seconded?
Yeah.
All those in favor on voting this tonight, say aye.
All right.
Nays, any nays? No nays. Okay to vote on for tonight.
Through the chair, I might interject that with the added stipulation, which I've drafted here, I can read that staff would support waiving the ratification process in this case if you agree that the findings in the staff report are generally still consistent with your view of the application.
Okay, so,
Just a question, Doug. Should we wait till they get some type of approval from DEM or it's
No,
okay to do?
we're
it?
not in a position to be able to wait for that. Yeah, I mean, essentially, they will be at DEM for months.
Okay.
But the DEM would not act until this decision was rendered anyway.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Doug, I got another question. So say DEM tells them, yeah, you can go back the other 10 feet. Do we have to do anything?
No.
They can
No.
just go and,
You're providing relief for them to be as close as 25 feet
Yeah,
from
and if
their
they can go
property
back
line.
further,
If they
that's
end up
great.
at 35 feet, that's fine.
okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this application with the stipulation that if they want to go to, they would go to DEM and ask for a possible 10 more feet inside. And also that we take into consideration the staff report that goes along with our findings.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Okay, I'm gonna start with myself with a vote. Chair, I vote to approve as presented with the stipulation. Ross?
Approve as presented with stipulation.
So,
Approve as presented with stipulations.
Approve with stipulation as presented.
Mark,
Yeah, approve with the stipulation.
application stipulation as.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, board, and to the staff. Everyone's been great. Thank you.
Under new business, we have owner applicant Norman Rivers. Location is AP4 Lot 19, 6 Nicole Lane. Zone is R20. Applicant is seeking a dimensional variance to construct a 20 by 26 addition that will encroach 2 feet, 1 inch into the front setback and 5 feet into the side setback on the east side of the property. Applicant is also seeking relief for lot coverage. Lot coverage is currently proposed to be 36%, where 20% is allowed.
Okay, is the applicant here, please? Please come up to the podium. Okay, I'm gonna ask you, give your full name and address.
Norman R. Rivers Jr., 6 Nicole Lane, Coventry, Rhode Island.
Okay, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in front of this board?
Yes.
Please present your own application.
I'm sorry.
Tell me what you'd like to
Oh,
do.
I'm putting up I just want to put a bedroom, a bedroom extended off the left side of the house with the storage downstairs. So it's 20 by 26.
Okay, and he's here because side lot line?
He's here for 3 counts of relief. One is side setback, one is front setback. Although the structure he's building isn't getting closer to the street than his existing structure, that's still with slightly 2 feet into the front setback. He's also here for lot coverage relief. He's already above the required maximum lot coverage, but this addition would put him a little further above.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, now, he is gonna be how many feet? 6 feet? Something?
5.
From the side lot line?
I need a 5-foot variance.
He's gonna be 5 from the side, 2 feet, it's 5 feet from the side setback, 2 feet, 1 inch into the front setback, and then lot coverage.
Yeah, and to be clear, so he's gonna be 15 feet away from the side property line
Yes.
and
That's what I'm asking.
32.9 feet away from the front property line.
So, as far as I can see, you still got plenty of room, to be honest with you. You know? On the front, side,
What's the addition for?
It's a bedroom.
Just another bedroom?
Yeah.
And your septic system
Yeah.
is okay with that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
okay, and the planning department's okay with this?
We have no concerns with how it's presented.
I do not have any complaints with it. I took a quick ride up there and just looked at it. To me, it looked like he had quite a bit of room. Is there any discussion on the board from this here?
Same thing, I went by, I don't really see a big problem with it.
I'm familiar with the area, with this house.
All right, I'm gonna ask you to take a seat, please, sir.
Okay.
And let me see if there's anybody in here that would like to speak either for or against, or just have a question on it. Anybody here that would like to speak on this application whatsoever?
Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, there is a letter from the neighbor in our packet, which they have no issues with him doing this.
They got no issue.
No.
Am I in the
Okay.
wrong one?
Is there anybody online that would like to speak on this application? No. Okay, since you got a letter from the neighbor approving it,
Yep.
and nobody here tonight can speak against it. And I don't have And I don't think the board can. So I'd like the application voted on tonight.
Motion to vote on tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second that. Okay. So, I'd like to have a vote on that. I vote to approve the vote on tonight. Ross,
Approved.
Russell,
Approve.
Ed,
Approve.
Ron,
Approve.
application approved to, tonight. Any nays? No nays? Okay, this time here, I'd like to have a vote on the application. Ross,
Approve, with the staff report.
staff.
And to be sure that everyone saw this, the staff report does recommend waiving the ratification in this case.
Yeah.
So as you make that recommendation, that it's inclusive of that waiver.
Okay. That's inclusive. Same. Yes.
I approve with that stipulation.
Ed,
I approve.
Ron,
Yeah, I approve with that stipulation from the staff report.
applications approved with the stipulation. Staff.
Good luck.
Okay,
Next application is Laura Mops. Location is AP 57 Lot 5, 210 Pine Haven Road. Zone is R2. Applicants are seeking a dimensional variance to construct a single-family home 15 feet from the front setback where 35 is required.
okay, we might have a problem here because as we found out with another, I might be within the 200 feet because they count not just my lot, but the whole over 100 acres with Raymond's Point. So I might have to step down.
We can check the radius. I believe, Harry, correct me if I'm wrong, we would have a 500-foot radius, or is this actually? It's 1,000? So you think you're within the 1,000-foot?
Butters, I believe, is in that folder.
Yeah. We can check if you're in the list of abutters, Mr. Crow, before you take action
If not,
on this one way or the other.
He is, page 4 of 9. Page 4 of 9.
While I'm on it?
Is it Robert and Deborah?
Yes,
And is it 64 Raymond Point Road?
60.
Yeah, good catch, Bob. I think you can fill out a form for us later, but my recommendation is to recuse from this matter.
See,
Thank you very much.
Take over, sir.
But we can run this with the 3 votes, right?
You're actually,
4 of us.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck. I'm sorry.
You're a voting member tonight on everything, Bob.
Really? Okay. Mr. Cronin. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, four voting members, right?
Swear.
Okay. All
Raise
right,
your right
so
hand.
I'll,
Raise your right hand.
I will.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth in front of this board.
I do.
Thank you.
Thomas Cronin, Nolan Bernero, Cronin Farrar, 1070 Main Street, Coventry, Rhode Island, for the owner and applicant. So this is kind of a redo, but not really. Got to treat it as a fresh application. This matter was presented to the zoning board and voted on approval in May of 2023. The decision was in June. Unfortunately, Mrs. Mops ran into a terrible nightmare with the builder. And no action was taken and no permit was pulled within the 1 year of the approval in June of 2023. So we're back here before you tonight with essentially the same application, which is to propose a new single-family home on the property to replace the manufactured home on the property. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 1 floor, approximately 2,000 square feet, and a 2-car garage attached where Mrs. Mops and her son and daughter-in-law will live. You certainly probably do not recall, but this is a funky shaped lot.
I do.
Looks like a chevron, upside down sergeant's badge. I don't know. And we have to shift the structure away from the points of that chevron in order to make it fit on the lot. It has an OWTS, which was installed in the last 5 years, and a new well that were put in before the construction, so we have to avoid those as well. We asked originally in the application for relief of 15 feet. After this board, beat me up a little bit, we agreed to move the structure back to 20 feet. It ended up being 20 feet, 6 inches. So the building design is the same. The site plan, after you knock me around a bit, is the same. The only thing that is different is the passage of time and the permit expiring. So I don't want to waste this board's time, but it is a public hearing. So I'm here to answer any questions. Ryan DeFranco from Trust Construction, the new highly qualified builder, is here, and Mrs. Mops is here if you have any particular questions.
So like last time, we're gonna let them stay in the trailer till the house is built and then the trailer will leave.
Well, yeah, well, I should have said, well, we're looking for the same stipulations, right?
I'm good with
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
good with it. I was good with it then. I'm good with it.
Fine.
Any questions?
Through the chair, just a point of clarification, and if the applicant might address it. The applicant's narrative, I think, which was likely presented because it was the same narrative as last time, was seeking for relief to be 15 feet from the property line. The applicant's site plan, which I think was developed after the last decision, actually cites the building at 20 feet. And I just want to be clear for the record, the applicant is now presenting that the site plan is what they're seeking. They're actually seeking less relief than what that might have been indicated. They're seeking to be 20 feet.
5 feet less, right?
Yeah, 5
Yep.
feet. So I think that I just want to be clear for the record, this applicant's current proposal, that I understand it, without need for stipulation, is they're seeking to be 5 feet from, I'm sorry, 20 feet from the front property line. Is that correct, Mr. Cronin?
That's right. It's 20 feet, 0.66.
Yep. And then the last component is you'll see the previous decision had a stipulation that they move the building 5 feet in an easterly direction. And I just want to confirm with Mr. Cronin if the site plan reflects that move already.
It does. This is the site plan that resulted.
Great. So my recommendation is, as you make a decision on this, reference the site plan that has been presented. And I do not think that you need the stipulations that the building is moved 5 feet further back or 5 feet further to the east.
Okay.
Just as you make the decision, reference the current site plan as the basis for the location of the building. Does
Thank
that
you.
sound fair to
Yes.
you as well, Tom? Is that an accurate representation?
Yes.
Okay.
But we can still stipulate that that trailer has to go.
You can still stipulate that. You can also add any other conditions, stipulations you see
I
fit.
understand that wasn't a problem.
I think it's just good
Same.
for,
We're just gonna let them, they can stay there as long as they build on house for when it's done.
yeah.
I mean, you don't want them, obviously, that's not a problem. Ross, you have anything?
No, I'm good.
Eddie?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Pelletier?
No, thank you.
Anyone in the audience have anything, comments for or against? Anybody online? We're good? I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we vote on this evening.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Ionati and seconded by Mr. Pelletier, Ross, to approve this, application. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No, okay.
Okay, now I make a motion that we approve this application with the stipulation that the trailer on the property is removed and
After
after
construction.
construction, and the site plan as presented tonight is what we're gonna go with.
And we're gonna forego the,
Staff do recommend in this case waiving the ratification process.
so we'll entertain, include the staff report in. the
And
motion.
include the staff report
With the ratification.
with
Yep.
the ratification.
Perfect.
Okay, roll call, Ross,
Approved based on the site plan and removing the trailer once this is done with the recommendations from the staff report and about the ratification.
Mr. Ionati,
I approve with the stipulations.
Mr. Pelletier.
Yeah, I approve with the stipulation.
I also approve. Motion's approved. Good luck.
Next application is Byron and Chris Carlson. Location is AP 48 Lot 99, 248-250 Pulaski Street. Zone is Industrial 2. Applicants are seeking a use variance to convert existing commercial structure into accessory family dwelling unit. Applicants are also seeking a dimensional variance due to the existing structure encroaching into the southerly side setback 7.87 feet.
Okay, applicant here.
Good evening, My name is Julie Raimondi. I'm here with Angelo Raimondi. We are land surveyors from Situate Surveys, 410 Tioga Avenue, right here in Coventry. No, we are here representing the applicant, who is Byron Dowling, now known as Byron Carlson, as well as her brother-in-law, Chris Carlson. Chris Carlson is here tonight, as well as their builder, Nick Del Bracco, who can answer any questions about the construction. Yes, Chris Carlson is here.
Christopher Carlson, 15 Bestwick Trail in Coventry. I do.
Testimony to the board.
Yes.
No, I think the board can make that, the board can accept that testimony from the land surveyor.
Is acceptable by the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please step back up on the full name and address again.
Sure. Julie Raimondi from Situate Surveys, 410 Tioga Avenue in Coventry. I do. Yes, this application is for assessor's plat. Oops, lost it. Assessor's plat 48 lot 99, which is 248 to 250 Pulaski Street. This lot contains two pre-existing structures on it. One is a residential dwelling towards the front of the lot. And there is a smaller structure in the back that has been used at some time in the past as an office building. It's not being used right now, so it's sort of just falling into disrepair. So these were two existing structures before the lot was zoned as industrial. So what we're seeking tonight, we're requesting relief for a use variance so that they can take that structure in the back and turn it into an accessory dwelling unit. And there's a small amount of relief required as a dimensional variance for the side setback as well, which is less than 8 feet.
Sure, this one is unique compared to many of the asks in front of you because they're seeking a use variance. I think it's important to note that there's a differentiation between the standard of review for a use variance and dimensional variance. The use variance has a higher standard of review. I think that the ask is very reasonable. There's an existing two-family dwelling in an industrial zone, and they're seeking to convert the structure in the back to an accessory dwelling unit. Since that's an expansion of the residential use, we consider that an expansion of a non-conforming use in an industrial district. But in this area of town, there are other residences in the industrial district. It's a very reasonable ask. And I think that the structure isn't being relocated, but we're asking for them to seek setback relief for the existing structure's location because they're changing the use, putting in a non-conforming use. We wanted it to be clear for the record that they're seeking the relief to have that use be within the setback. So the setback, they're not adding any new building area. They're not getting closer to the property line, but because this change of use, we wanted to make sure that they sought that setback relief. That's my overview of this one.
So even though they're using the same foundation, same location,
And actually, I would say, I think they're using the existing structure itself, not just the same foundation. I mean, I think it's, they're working with the footprint and the structure in place.
Same footprint, yes.
It's just that one back door.
Correct. Well, they're here because it's an industrial zone, and to further expand a residential use in the industrial zone triggers a use variance. If this was a residential zone, they would not be here. They're here because it's an industrial zone, and yeah, and
Well, they'd still be here for the 7 feet.
yeah, you could argue that they'd be here for the 7 feet. I think that the reason we're bringing the 7 feet is specifically because they're looking to occupy this building with a non-conforming use. It's worth our while to make sure that we're comfortable with that non-conforming use going that close to the side setback.
Was this
Um,
by I guess the company there, the chemical companies on that side of the road or the opposite side?
The chemical company, I think, is on this side of the road, but it's further to the north.
No, okay.
Get on Pulaski, go by that, go through the S turns, wait
Yeah.
for the street comes in on, would come in on your right, on your left. And it's
Okay.
just before the bend.
I think that there's legitimate arguments could be made that an accessory dwelling unit, which is covered in the state as a type of unit that should not be restricted. However, the fact that it's an industrial zone, we suggested a conservative approach for this application was to seek the use variance. That might be technically correct, but what they're seeking to do is really something that's well supported in state law, which is this accessory dwelling unit. We because it's to the rear, because it doesn't present itself as a competing primary unit, it's clearly incidental. Staff is supportive of it. I think the only thing for you guys to be aware of is that the standard of review is higher. So as you make your decision, I want to make sure you're comfortable with the standard of review and the outcomes that the project would have. The front structure is currently being used as a two-family. The structure to the rear is being, I think it's currently not in use, but I think the latest use was an office. Is that an accurate statement?
Wasn't.
Not that I'm aware of unless you have.
No, the back structure was not a residential use previously.
Because it wasn't residential. Give it up. That's the reason why we're here.
Correct.
But,
But I think that technically the rear structure never had a residential use in it.
Right.
So by occupying that rear structure with a residential use, this is an expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use. And our code tells us that if you want to expand a pre-existing non-conforming use, it's a use variance.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's fine with me, Mr. Chairman.
I want to make sure you.
I did, I've been listening, I did get a call, I apologize. I did listen to the testimony, I listened to the planner. I think it's clearly a minor, a technical request that the board should consider favorable.
I have no question.
Anybody else have any questions?
No.
We take a seat. See if there's anybody here that can speak on this one. Or can answer the question. Anybody here that would like to speak on this application or against another question? Okay, I'll also ask, is anybody online that would like to speak on this? There's nobody online. Okay, I also would like to see this here voted on.
Make a motion, we vote on this evening?
Second the motion.
Motion. Motion. I'll do a roll call. vote.
Well, we got to vote on it tonight.
Yes.
Yep.
Roll call.
Well, you don't have to do a vote. That's when we vote on it. We just
Okay.
Approved
Here's
it.
one to go. That motion made. Approve this as presented.
No, the motion was to vote on it tonight, Mr. Chairman.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but then normally if we agree to that, then you do a roll call after that.
All right, but what I'm just, so how do you want to vote on it?
I'd like to vote on it tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So how would you like to vote? You want to do a roll call vote or you want to do a group vote?
Usually we do a group vote when we're voting on it tonight.
Okay, you do a group. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have it. Okay, now, we're just gonna group vote now, individually vote on the application itself. And any other questions the board member has on this application? If we have none, we have nothing from the solicitor, we have nothing from the town planner.
The only stipulation that I've got is that we would support waiving the ratification in this case again. That's within the staff report. As long as you reference that as part of your decision, then that's fine.
I approve, with the recommendation from the staff report on waiving the, ratification.
Okay, I also feel the same way. Russell?
I approve with the stipulations, Mr. Chairman.
Approve.
I approve the stipulations of the staff report and also the waiving of the ratification process.
All right, so the application is approved, as presented with the staff. Okay, next application.
Next applicant and owner is Kara Magera. Location is AP 54 Lot 6.2, 120 Maple Street. Zone is R20. Applicant is seeking a dimensional variance to construct a 26 by 42 detached garage, 26 in height, where 15 is allowed.
The applicant here, please. Hi. Give the full name and address.
Sure. Kara Magera, 120 Maple Street, Coventry.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to read right in. You gonna tell the truth, nothing but the truth, final truth?
I just,
Need any information?
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, please explain to me what you'd like to do.
we'd like to put a garage.
I'm sorry, for the record, could you,
Sure,
speak up?
sorry, guys. We'd
You
like
can pull
to,
it down if you want.
sure. Like to put a garage, not attached to the house, a separate garage up. And from my understanding, the height of the garage is taller than than we need to get a variance to come. So we're here asking that we are allowed to put that garage up on the property. I only have a 1-car garage right now, and I have 2 cars, and my daughter is about to be 16 in about a year. And so I'd like it so that I'm not shoveling any snow off the top of my cars when it snows and whatnot, to have them safely there.
So. Okay, mostly here just for height, right?
It's a height variance for the accessory structure. Height is currently established at a maximum of 15 feet, or the height of the structure, whichever is lower. In my opinion, I think that this code is something that we should revisit offline. I think that 15 feet is a pretty small height for any garage structure, especially one that's going to have a peaked roof. So I think that it's a reasonable ask. They're looking to be 26 feet in height, whereas the code has a maximum of 15 feet in height.
Questions on that?
No, I think it's, I think the application fine, Mr. Chairman. I think it's fine.
Well, it looks like you're going that high because you want storage also. Yeah.
Not at all. I'm familiar with the area, and it's actually surrounded by a cemetery, I believe. So I don't think there's
And
any issue as far as visibility or anything for anybody. So I don't see any problem with it.
I
at
have
all.
no problem with it, Mr. Chairman.
I have no problem. Looks like a great yard.
It's a beautiful area.
I
Yeah,
saw it.
absolutely gorgeous. It's been for years.
Good landscaper.
It's all me.
Yeah, figured.
All right, I'm gonna ask you to take a seat, and let's see if there's anybody here that would like to speak in opposition or have a question on the application. or Any kind of thing at all. Anybody here just would like to have a question solved, or ask a question about the application? Okay, I know not. Anybody here? How about online? Have anybody online? Anybody? Okay, since we have nobody here to speak on it, and I think the application is pretty easy, just a matter of height. He doesn't understand why this. He understands why it's here, but he would like to review this process in the future. Because some people don't have to do this.
Motion to vote on this tonight, Mr. Chairman?
Second.
Any further discussion?
No, I'm fine with voting on it tonight.
Yes. Ron, how do you vote on it?
Approve,
Approve to vote on it.
yeah, approve to vote on it tonight.
Ed?
Yes.
Approved tonight.
Approve with the
No, we're
recommendation from the staff report.
we're just
on-
approving whether we're gonna vote.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Jump to the gun.
Now, this time here, we'll vote on this tonight, so. I think, let's bring up the,
Approve with the recommendation from the staff report on waiving the ratification process.
Second,
alright. Made and seconded, okay. Motion. Crossman, Crossman, seconded. So how do you vote on this? You vote to approve?
Approve.
I also vote to approve with the staff report.
Approve with staff report.
Ed,
Approve.
Ron,
approve with the staff report.
application approved. Oh, is there any further business?
Good luck.
Make a motion, we,
The only further business is we have general public comment.
Do you have any general public comment here that anybody would like to speak? Not anything, do we have anything online? Come here without any public- Motion to adjourn.
yeah.
Second,
Second that,
Yes.
all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.